Hey guys, I'm Miss Bearden, and I am going to share with you one of my favorite books. But first, I kind of wanted to ask, have you ever, wanted to participate in a contest or an activity, but you couldn't because you didn't have what it took? Maybe you didn't have the right tools, and maybe you didn't have enough people to help you in the contest or participate with you. Maybe it took, a certain amount of people, or maybe you needed a certain thing to take part, but you didn't. Well, that's exactly what happens in the book, Big Red Kite. It is by Stan and Jan Berenstein. And if you look at the front of the picture, you can kind of tell it's brother and a sister and their dad. And of course, there's a kite involved because the title, of course, is Big Red Kite. And basically, the beginning of the story, Brother Bear sees a poster that says, hey, there's this kite contest in town. And Sister Bear is like, well, yeah, there is, but we don't have a kite, so we can't participate. And the dad, or Papa Bear overhears them and says, he literally says, no kite, no kite. Now do not worry, I can make one in a hurry. So then as the story continues, he shows, he works with his son and daughter, little sister and brother, that's their names. And they get to make a kite. They get sticks, they get glue, they get scissors, they make their kite. And then the mama sees the kite, and she's kind of like, it's a nice kite, but I doubt it'll fly because they ended up forgetting the tail, so she helps them add it, and it's really, really great. So they get their kite, and they go into the contest. And they get to the contest, and they kind of get these looks and these comments, one of the contestants says, like, your kite's too red, and it's too crude, and even one of the judges says, your kite looks homemade. And of course it was homemade because they didn't have a kite. And they see all these fancy kites. They see a dragon kite, they see a fox kite, they see a butterfly kite. And just they're really, really great kites. And they kind of get this impression that, their kite's not going to fly. So they don't give up and they pursue, and the dad runs with the kite and is like, I'm confident that this kite's going to fly. This wind needs to pick up, it's going to happen. And I'm not going to give the end of the story away, but basically what happens is the wind gets real crazy. But to find out what happens to the kite, you got to read the book, okay? It's really got a lot of great pictures. It's one of my favorite books. This is when they're on their way to the contest, and I'm just going to read a short part of the story. Kite contest, we're on our way. Our big red kite will win the day. And here they are, you can see them running with the kite. They're all really excited. Kites, up ahead. Look out, kites. Here comes Big Red. So that's the name of their kite. They name it Big Red, it's a red kite. But in this story, it's really a good children's book. It's really good for first-time readers. There's a lot of pictures in the book. There's not, like, way too many words. This is another part of the story where the mom helps them. But the pictures are great, and it kind of helps you follow along with what's actually going on in the story. If you have never read a book by Stan and Jan Berenstein, you've got to read this one right here. This is the one you need to read. Like I said, it's like 32 pages. It's nothing crazy. There's not too much text, especially for, young readers, especially like beginning readers. So I really recommend this book. If you want to know what happens in the end, what do you got to do? You got to read it. So, yeah, I would definitely rate this book a 5-star book. It's one of my favorites. I read a lot of the Berenstein Bear books growing up. And now I'm sharing with you that you need to do the same. You do not want to miss out. You do not want to not read these books. These books are great. This book specifically. Great pictures. Great story. This book has a lesson in it. A lot of the Berenstein Bears books do. So this is what it looks like. If you need to get a copy, which you should and you need to. So yeah. Get the book, Big Red Kite by Stan and Jan Berenstein. Have a good one.